big loss for the Aquidneck Island community. Longtime reporter and columnist Jim Gillis has died.
He worked at the Newport Daily News for more than 4 decades. 12 News did a street story on Jim a few years back. Nita Buffoni went down to Newport today and joins us now with more about the impact of this loss and the legacy Jim leaves behind.
The number of people that knew Jim Gillis here in Newport and beyond are impossible to count. He was a respected reporter dedicated to his craft. Now his passing leaves a void in the Rhode Island press corps that will be impossible to fill. Jim Gillis was a force to be reckoned with.
It was almost like he was at the center of the newsroom and he absorbed all of the stories.
For former Newport Daily News colleagues, Jim was more than a respected reporter and columnist. He was a dear friend. When 12 News interviewed Jim 4 years ago, he reflected on his struggles to find a kidney transplant. His family said complications from a recent kidney infection is what caused his passing Monday. Jim is being remembered as a gifted writer, known for his one-liners in his weekly column, Spare Change.
It was nice to have that as his commitment to accuracy and being a good reporter and getting all sides of the story, but also telling that story in a way that was meaningful and would land with people and they would pay attention to it.
Even for those on the receiving end of his reporting, Jim was considered to be fair yet direct. His words left a mark on the Newport community.
He did establish some of the different phrases that people use today, like Zooport, which we didn't like. But that was Jim.
His time with the Newport Daily News began in the 1980s. A lover of the arts and music, Jim was embedded in the culture of Newport. His column was a must-read every week.
Everybody looked forward to reading his column on Friday to see who was going to get zapped and who was going to get kudos.
A celebration of life is being planned, and Jim's family says it will be held, but where else? On Aquidneck Island. Now, Jim was recently inducted into the Rhode Island Journalism Hall of Fame. I'm told despite his health issues, he had plans to continue writing. Now, sadly, that part of his story will remain unwritten. In Newport.
Tonight, we're remembering the legacy of a veteran journalist who had his finger on the pulse of Aquidneck Island.
We learned earlier today that Newport Daily News columnist and reporter Jim Gillis passed away this week. We talked to him in 2019 as he dealt with health issues while continuing to tell stories in his long-running column, Spare Change.
12 News reporter Anita Buffoni talked to people who knew and worked with Jim.
What is Newport without longtime Daily News reporter Jim Gillis? That's a question those close to him are having a hard time answering. Whether you worked next to him in the Newport Daily News newsroom or were on the receiving end of his reporting, Jim Gillis is being remembered as a respected journalist and dear friend.
He was genuine. He was down to earth, and he told it like it was.
His memory was impeccable, and as the years turned into decades, Jim always stayed in touch.
He stayed in touch with so many people. It was like before Facebook, there was Jim Gillis.
Jim had a way with words, a gifted storyteller. His weekly column, Spare Change, was a must-read.
He was always able to weave his knowledge into these one-liners that you weren't sure how to respond to.
When 12 News interviewed Jim 4 years ago, he reflected on his struggles to get a kidney transplant, which he luckily was able to get in 2020. His family says complications from a recent kidney infection is what caused his passing Monday. Jim's time with the Newport Daily News began in the 1980s. His award-winning career culminated in 2021 when he was inducted into the Rhode Island Journalism Hall of Fame. A lover of the arts, sports, and music, Jim was embedded in the culture of Newport, having become a symbol of the community he called home.
I don't believe it's possible that I don't get to hear him tell stories anymore.
Now, a celebration of life is being planned, and Jim's family tells me it will be held, but where else? Here on Aquidneck Island. And despite Jim's health issues, I'm told he had plans to continue writing, but now, sadly, that part of his story will remain unwritten. In Newport, I'm Anita Buffoni, 12 News.